Qatarlson is likely the greatest simp for the jihadist or the Islamic Brotherhood that I've ever seen. You know, I've seen many individuals who are afflicted with the JDS, right? The Jew derangement syndrome, not to be confused with TDS, though some individuals have both, many do, but there are also many others who have one or the other, right? And Tucker happens to be one who has both. He's had both severely throughout his life, but I believe he's at a stage 5 when it comes to Jew derangement syndrome. This man has been the greatest worshiper of the jihad that I have ever seen, including genuine, thoroughbred jihadists. And, well, we're about to see just where Tucker stands when it comes to, Qatarlson. Put some respect on his boss's name. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into this video presented to us by Milk Bar TV. Shout out to Nathan Livingston. We're going to have him on the show. By the time you're seeing this, we might have already aired the one with Nate, but shout out to him for putting these videos together. He's the GOAT.
So a lot of Americans are concerned about Sharia law.
Sure.
And they're concerned about polls that show a strikingly large number of Muslims would like to see it supplant civil law in the countries in which they live.
Sharia law is bad, Seth. I don't know if you've heard that. It's bad. It's worse than what's happening in New York and Detroit. It's just bad.
I don't know of a single Gulf country where it's illegal to proselytize on behalf of another religion. I think that...
I'm sorry, we can't just skip over that. What is wrong with this guy? He's worse than Jimmy Fallon. You know what I mean? Let me give y'all a little moment of that. Tweaking. Fabricated. Phony. Fake. It's not real. It's an act. It's a play. Start convulsing. What is that? What is that?
Happening in New York and Detroit. It's just bad.
I don't know of a single Gulf country where it's illegal to proselytize on behalf of another religion. I think that in every Muslim majority country in the world, non-Muslims are treated, have fewer rights.
And you can tell when you go to a place like Abu Dhabi or Riyadh, like, oh man, I hope we don't ever wind up with a society like this with a rape rate of 0, where you leave your keys in your Lamborghini and don't ever worry about it being stolen.
So you often...
Why do you call him Tehran Qatarlson? Because he is an absolute simp for these Muslim Arab nations. That's why. He looks to desensitize everything about them. But what else would you do if that was your boss? I mean, to be fair, if this is the man who pays for your bare necessities, your livelihood, your mere mansions and supercars and vacations and your children's meager education at $50,000 a year schools, how else would you act towards the individuals who afford you this lifestyle? Riddle me that.
I hear people say, well, Sharia is intolerant, women are treated badly, gays are treated badly. Women have, in the Quran, fewer rights than men do.
I'm not Muslim. I'm not for Sharia law. On the other hand, compared to what? Compared to Baltimore?
In England, it's 4 out of 10 French Muslims. In France, 29% of French Muslims would like to see it replace French law.
You know, if people want to get wasted, they do it at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Boy, I hope we don't wind up with that.
But I've seen a bunch of polls like this that show that the attitudes of faithful Muslims are not Western at all, and that they include a tolerance of violence you don't find among, say, Presbyterians or Jews.
You know, shut up. Sharia law.
Meanwhile, a California imam is apologizing after he referred to Jews as filth.
O Allah, liberate the Al-Aqsa Mosque from the filth of the Jews. O Allah, count them one by one and annihilate them down to the very last one. Do not spare any of them.
Sorry, Sharia law.
He's lost his mind. Now, this is some of Nathan's best work. That was fire. And I watched that in real time with you guys. But I want to bring up another video that kind of puts this proverbial nail in the coffin for y'all. Oh, Tehran. We might have to add an extra. We might have to give you Tehran, Sharia, Qatarlson. I think we might have to throw that in there for you because you have gone off the rails, good sir.
You want to get really red-pilled? Look up Taliban drug treatment. Ask yourself, super simple question. Is the Taliban drug treatment program, you can look this up, there are videos of it online.
Yeah.
So our red pilling moment is to look at the positives in the Taliban. You can't make this up.
Does it produce a higher or lower relapse rate than the American version in, say, Delray Beach, Florida? And the answer is not just yes, but hell yes, because they don't wean them off with methadone. This whole thing is a freaking lie. By the way, a lot of people get rich off that. You know who you are if you're listening. Some of them are big political donors who get rich on drug treatment programs. Disgusting. And it doesn't work. It works for some small percentage, but it doesn't work for most. That's for sure. And a lot of them die and they never lead productive, joyful lives. And the Taliban have a faith-based, I know I'm going to probably get pulled off YouTube for saying this, but it's true.
No, you won't. Tucker, you know, see, I have to address this. And then we're going to really cook, right? I got a pot roast coming for y'all today. We're about to cook. You do not get in trouble. You do not get in trouble worshiping the jihadists. This is a global phenomenon throughout the Western world that is mostly rewarded. You do not get in trouble for criticizing Israel in the way that y'all claim. How do I know? Because you've built entire careers, platforms, made millions of dollars on the back of that subject. Cut the cap. Now, we're almost done with this one. Bear with me. And then we're about to get to our meal.
I'm saying this as a Christian, not a Muslim. They have a faith-based, no-nonsense, zero intoxicant policy in their rehab, and it works, and ours doesn't.
You know who else had that? You know who else said we can't drink on this side? Saddam Baghdad Butcher Hussein. That's who had a no drinking policy. Now, turns out that the man was actually drinking behind closed doors himself, but for everybody else, off with your head if you drank. And why did they not drink? Because they wanted to focus all of their time, energy, and attention on killing you, on beheading Christians, on dragging women out of their homes, young girls out of their homes, and doing the unthinkable to them. That's why they had that policy, because a soldier who is intoxicated, it's not a really useful soldier. Think it's some sort of righteous cause? No, you don't. You're simply reading the notes that was spelled out for you by those who are behind you. Now, here's the thing, and I've never actually gone into this when it's come to the subject of Tehran Qatarlson, who I will speak on for as long as I need to. That might be for the rest of our lives. So long as he continues to be this level of, it's not disingenuous, it's point blank lying, misleading. We will get into this. So he has these three worlds that he occupies simultaneously. So he tells us that he's America first, and it's about America, this isolationist veneer that he has. What he really is this. He is a full 100% Jew hate. Then he is a third of endorsement of Islam, or the watering down of Islam or jihad, the Islamic Brotherhood, the Arabic Muslim nations. 1/3 that. So let's just say 1/3 Jew hate, 1/3 the worshiping of his newfound deity. And then you have 1/3 criticism of America. That's the combination that he has working simultaneously, and they work together, right? So in order to uplift the jihad or to uplift his new employer, you can't just go full blown, we love Sharia law, right? You have to desensitize, we love jihad. No, you can't just do that. You have to have in part of other things. So here's the enemy. Here's really so divert. Look at the Jew. Look at what the Jew's doing. Divert, divert, divert. These guys are misunderstood and not really the bad guy. And America could be doing a better job. America has that, America, just look at America. Again, it would be one thing if he was criticizing everybody equally, right? Criticism, 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 or praise, praise, praise. And even that would be kind of suspect to be like, okay, really? The Taliban? Out of all, the Taliban? Really? Okay. But instead, he has scapegoating or complete ridicule, criticism, defaming. Then he has worshiping, pandering to, pedestalizing, and then he has criticism. The Jew is the full scapegoat. America is a partial scapegoat in comparison, and then the worshiping is of Islam. That's why on this side we call him Qatarlson. It's not because we have ad hominems. No. It's because this man was literally funded by Omid Malik. Look the man up. $15 million of funding once he went independent. $15 million into this Tucker Carlson or Qatarlson network that he is building out. A man of Pakistani and Iranian descent was his largest funder. And then after that fact, we have, actual pay stubs, or I guess you would say receipts of money paid by Iran, upwards to $100,000 for the interview that he did with the president of Iran. This is the public domain. This could only lead me to one simple conclusion. This one right here is, I'm not going to lie. This was different. This is Milk Bar TV. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there. Or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace. Aquarius. Where? I've been up for hours, I've been up for days, staring at the ceiling, I've been counting strays, I've been in my feelings, I've been out of mind, I've been getting visions of the other kind, I've been up for weeks, I'm in the count of blessings over count of sheep. I can never be the type to limit when it comes to me. I used to be the pleaser for the people, I ain't